too, if he's smart, he probably knew the answer. Which, if he knew the answer, he's smart enough to throw it better. So why? What was all that?
I'm telling you, when he doesn't give the rest of us enough credit, he takes us for fools. He thinks his intelligence is so much higher than the rest of ours. And when you're that overconfident, that clouds your judgment and you start to miss things. So that's what makes me nervous about it.
But now he's pissing everybody off.
That's
he's becoming such a liability.
Exactly. It clouds your judgment and it makes you start to miss things.
Yeah. I'm like, are you not picking up that it looked very obvious? And now, one, you kind of like put my buddy in a tough spot because it looks like you threw it to her. So everyone's wondering, did you guys have a deal? Which I'm like, if they had a deal and I didn't know about it, that's an issue. But I know they didn't because Liz would have told me. She
Are
tells
you
me
sure?
100%. No, I literally asked her. I was like,
because I was upstairs in the HMH room and the guy was like, I'll throw it to you at the end.
yeah. So literally beforehand, she was like, we were up there. He asked, he was like, do you want it? She was like, yes, I want it. But then he was like, okay. So I was like, so that's me. So she was like, no, I told him to just go for it. But if he wasn't going to throw it, I mean, I'm cool with that because that's one. But at the same time, if it's just like, if you were going to throw it, which I don't really care because the power is in your hands. I don't give a fuck, and that motherfucker's used, and it is what it is. But like I threw a competition. It wasn't super obvious. It was probably still kind of like, people were like, hey, you maybe could have gone, but it was still like, well, maybe just work on your acting skills a little bit. Because that was painfully obvious to the entire house.
I know.
And now, no matter who wins, especially the people outside the six, everyone's going to wonder why his ass isn't up.
He would have to go on next to SB. SB has to go on.
I think every single person in the house is looking at him and wants his ass to at least see the block next week, no matter who wins. Because he can't win. So no matter who wins, he's like the house starter right now. And I'm like,
I know.
dog.
Does he understand that?
I don't think he does. I think and even if we were like, sit down and be like, hey, I think everyone, if you were to go on the block, I don't think anyone in the house would have an issue with it. Maybe the exception of SB, and the only reason she wouldn't have an issue with it would be if she's sitting next to you. And I'm trying to think, how many people are in the house? So, and Kyland is being on the block. We still have the majority, yeah. So I think he'd be fine. But then you're putting us in a position where we have to show our face. Exactly. Yeah. And it's too soon to do that. Or not only that, but then that goes back to the jury. If we show that. And then the jury knows that we're all working together.
Yes.
And if they decide to get bitter.
Or if there's a battle back, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand, but as we see, if Kai is not starting, we can't send him home.
No.
So as we would have to go home next week.
Yeah, no, that would be the argument.
Yeah.
100%. Like, he can be here. He might end up being the one thing he did want to be.